just wanted to address a couple of things within within what's going on. I was reading in James 3. It talks about be not many masters, and I think that it's a really good. James talks about James 3, be not many masters, and I think it talks about being lifted up in pride and falling. But I just wanted to talk to the audience about that and talk about a couple of other things that's going on there. I think a lot of people, regardless of where you're at, a lot of street preachers, a lot of Christians, a lot of guys that we've got going on, they are not wise, and a lot of guys are new, and that's great. We need more new, more fresh guys ready to die for the faith, ready to get out there and preach about the gospel and preach to the different people. But a lot of guys, people that just start out, like let me just kind of give you this. I've been doing this for about 12 years. I've been preaching and this and that. And a lot of guys, they don't realize that when they think that they're on the same level or they know just as much as somebody who's been preaching for 12 years when they've been preaching for 6 months. And nothing against them. I hope they continue. I hope they do 12. I hope they do as much as Ruben and Jed do, 30, 40 years, and I hope that they don't just say that they're doing it and they say that they're a preacher and not actively going out. Both Ruben and Jed were very active and very loud about what they were doing and how they were doing it. So a real street preacher is somebody who has a plan, who has a schedule, and he preaches every, he hits campuses like Jed does regularly. Maybe not as regularly as Jed, if you have a job or if you have things that you have to do, if you have things you need to take care of. But Ruben, he would hit events, he would hit campuses, he did a lot, and he did have a full-time job, which both are great. If we could be full-time ministry, that's great. If you could be working, that's great. Any avenue that you take this at is great. But the verse that I want to talk about is James. In James it talks about be not many masters. And I think a lot of the guys that we have in the street preaching community, they get saved and they want to preach immediately, which is great. But they want to get really doctrine, theology, and get into all of this stuff when they haven't. A lot of them, I don't think they've really read through the entire Bible themselves. They haven't really thought about it. And just for you guys out there, if you have a question, just post it. If you want to talk about something, just post it in the chat, and I'll reply. Check it out. Let me see if there is any. If there is any, yeah. Okay, so I haven't gotten any yet. But yeah, just let me know. Be not many masters. There's things as a single guy you shouldn't say about married people, because you've never done that. If you don't have any kids, you shouldn't talk about what it is to raise children. I mean, there's certain things that you could say. There's certain things about raising kids, and there's things that biblically are good to talk about, but it also talks about rebuking not an elder. Just because somebody has kids doesn't mean that they know what they're doing. But somebody who, a true elder in the faith or a true elder in a church has very